Hello and welcome in another video. In this video, I want to talk about the restlessness and the feeling something is coming up and the feelings are coming up, coming to the surface and trying to really keep that balance. It's about letting go. It's about understanding yourself. It's about finding that peace again. Okay, so this will be the topic of today. My name is Patricia. I'm a certified life coach. And if you want to know anything more about coaching, have a look into the description box right down below. And if you're new to my channel, then I'm very happy that you're here with me. Click that subscribe button. Also make sure to hit that like button. So actually it's going to spread a bit more and people are going to recognize that this may help them too. All right, so this restlessness is, I've experienced this myself, and it's a really a heavy feeling actually. So if you do feel that, then it's not really a matter of how can I get rid of it, rather how can I understand that more, okay? Everything we experience in life has some emotions attached. It's what we give to that experience. So now this can come from a childhood experience we may not even aware of. This can come from yesterday. This can come, So it's not about when this happened. It's about understanding that something inside of you got some movements, okay, got some energy flow, got some emotions attached to something. And now this is going to come up to the surface. And if we are ignoring it, if we try to suppress it, if we try to, put it down, kind of like, yeah, it wasn't important or anything like that, if we don't see it, let's say, it's being harder or harder with time to ignore, to suppress, okay? With the time, everything is going to come to the surface. At least this was what happened to me, because I had so many things and I tried to ignore. I had so many feelings I was ignoring. And at one moment, I felt this restlessness. I felt like I need to do something. I mean, cannot be it, right? I was like, okay, I have to somehow understand what is going on inside of my body. And I started to become more aware of my daily thoughts, of my daily emotions, what is attached to it, and more in a kind of observing position, not in a judgmental position. It was really about how does this make me feel and why? And instead of looking at your emotions as like, gosh, I shouldn't feel like this. This isn't good. Not good here, not good. I can feel this anger, but I'm not allowed to feel that. I'm not allowed to feel this shame, this guilt. If we do that, then we are not acknowledging how we feel. And again, it's about expressing you. And you want to be expressed, okay? You want to express yourself. Now, this includes your emotions. If we just say, okay, goodbye, I see you next lifetime, if that happens, I see you next year, maybe 10 years. Well, yeah, you can do that. Of course, I did this too, right? So the thing is, though, you're not really making yourself happy with that. Okay, this is why you're here. This is why you start to understand, okay, there needs to be something else. I need to be able to manage my emotions better. And I learned over time that when I acknowledge them, however it may look like, Usually this, or at least in the beginning, it's quite a painful experience. Because imagine this, you have a big bucket and all stuff is in there you didn't like. And at one moment you open that bucket and you're like, hello, rise up. And everything comes out and you're like, can I close it again? You know, I'm kind of done. Like, I did my 5 minutes per day, goodbye. Yeah, doesn't really work like that, doesn't it? So that's the other part. It's like once you open that bucket, you have to take it. And your body is already signaling that you need to work through it. When your body starts to sense you or to send you those kind of impulses of like, hey, something is going on here. You need to look. What's up? What's up? Here, here. And you are not able to sleep. So for me, it was like there was constantly something ongoing. And I felt like, can this stop? Like, I just want to sleep. Like, I want a nap. I want to be able to sleep through the night. I would randomly wake up and I couldn't sleep anymore because it was so much. It was over the top. And only once I was like, okay, seems I have no chance to escape. I waited to the bitter end, I tell you. I waited to the bitter end. And until I realized, okay, I will not be able to get around it. So I have to make it through. In order to do that, you gotta understand how to do that. So first of all, you gotta bring down your emotional hypersenses, let's say. For me, it was really the nervous system was going all crazy. Like I would sense so many things. I would be, someone would say something to me and I would be super overreacting and trying to kind of cope with the whole situation, but it was so overwhelming. While the situation itself, in this moment, that wasn't the point. For me, it was way in the back, it was way in the past, and I had to actually see and acknowledge what has happened. And it's something that we all face. It's something that we all have, okay? We all have experiences with humans which are painful, which we try to forget, maybe even, which we try to put somewhere else, especially in relationships. Now, this can be friendship, this can be the relationship to your parents, this can be a partner. Those relationships are the ones we try to feel safe, for example, especially when you grow up. You try to, or as a child, it's important for you to feel safe. Now, for me, in my case, I never had this kind of experience where I felt really safe. So not my needs or not all my needs could be met, which is basically normal, but I had no idea how to cope with it, how to work with those emotions. It was so painful for me that I started to dissociate myself from the reality, meaning I was there while mentally I was gone. And I tried to deal with that for so many years, and I tried to put it away. That was my strategy. My strategy of I couldn't really remember my childhood, or just breaks of it, blanks, okay? And people would stare at me and say like, how come you cannot remember your childhood? Well, I can't, because that was the way how I was dealing with it. So I always thought that's kind of normal. And in a sense that, hey, if I cannot remember, that means that nothing bad happens, right? It means that everything is okay. Well, no. It's not so much about them. It's not so much about who raised me. It's about what would I have needed in that moment that made me escape. Made me escape from reality. Made me escape from being me. Okay? Suppressing myself because I felt I couldn't be myself. It wasn't enough to be myself. So I added a few things. I added skills I didn't like, I didn't want to do, you know, being super sporty, I wasn't at that time. And all those kind of things that didn't really make me happy. And at one moment, I just exploded on all areas in my life. It was just over the top. It was too much. And over the time, my nervous system was like going to the roof, meaning every single person who said something, I was either way getting super angry, I was getting frustrated, I was just super like, okay, because I couldn't deal with it anymore. And so my number, I don't know how many strategies I have, so let me share a few of them. One of it is really to, and I was always laughing about that, but actually works really super awesome while you don't even need anything, which is the greatest thing, right? So if you can, just imagine this, if you can, with your own self, if you can put yourself into such a nervous state, then you can as well regulate it, okay? Just from an understanding point of view. Now, when you sit down and you really start with breathing, I always thought that's kind of weird, but you really got to try this. It's my number one. If I don't have anything else, breathing exercises really help me big chunk, like big time. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna sit down. If there's any plants in your home or anything like that, okay, nature really helps you to do that if you have never tried. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna breathe in, and you're going to breathe in through your nose, and you're gonna hold it or count to 4. Then you're gonna hold it to 4, and you're gonna release it to 4. You can extend that, of course, and the longer you can do it, the more you can calm down your system. Okay, so it will look like this. Do this around 10 times. So it's really about okay? Do this around 10 times. It's going to calm down your system. And there's actually science behind that. I'm not going to list everything, but you can look this up. So it's not about me being crazy. So do that. In addition, understand that emotions want to move. So I was so nervous, I couldn't sit down and, like kind of focus straightforward. I had to calm down first. So don't go there yet. And then actually try, after you tried this whole breathing exercise, the second one would be do some movement. Now, I like to do yoga for this purpose. I like to do meditation as well, which is a bit another kind of, you're more in silent, you're more sitting, but it helps really as well because it brings you back from that past experience into the present moment, which is very much essential if you want to feel better. Because change is here, and our brain, unfortunately, doesn't understand that the experience you're going through, you're repeating all the time. And your brain doesn't understand that this experience isn't happening right now. Your brain understands it's happening right now. So all those emotions are coming again. You experience your memory again and again and again. It's a practice you're doing, and you're doing it unconsciously. This is not a conscious, hey, I'm aware that this is here and I really want this. No, this is unconscious, and you don't even know that. So I have done this over years, where I would have the same thoughts, the same kind of emotions, and I practice that. Now you can say you don't practice any thoughts, but yes, we do. We practice those things. And while doing this every single day, it's like learning, a new language, because you're practicing all the time. Those thoughts are coming up all the time. So you're repeating the same emotions all the time. So you need to get a bit, the tension needs to go a bit away. Okay, before you start to really look into it, the tension needs to move. And you can only really do that while you are moving. So when you move, and this is about slow moving, okay? It's not about going for cardio. Qigong, Qigong, I don't even know how you speak it out, but Qigong really works as well. It's really slow movements, okay? Slow. And what it does is it brings you back into the state of now. It brings you back to you. And we need that so that the system is calming down. Okay, that's step number 2. Step number 3 is, hey, I'm relaxed now a bit more. I'm not, super awesome, but I feel relaxed enough so I can sit down, okay? And I can actually start to feel, because we need to feel it before we can heal it, okay? This is super essential. And I waited so long to do that because I was afraid. I was like, if I let this feeling in, which basically is already there, but you just put it in a bucket. If I let this feeling in, it may never go away again. And so I will feel even more sadness in my life. And I don't want that. And in addition, this is another crucial thing. I'm going to go into this right after. So once you sit down, take a piece of paper and see, you already know here, you already know what this is about. Maybe you don't know the core, okay? I never had a clue about the core. So what you're going to do is you're going to ask questions from an observer kind of perspective. What you're going to do is you're going to ask, so what is it that makes me nervous? What is it that makes me or gives me sleepless nights? What is that all about? Tell me. You ask your body, tell me. I need to know, tell me. And wait. Sometimes those answers are not all the time coming, and sometimes you need a bit of there is a bit of a waiting period in between. But sometimes it's super clear, and then you can write it down. And when you write it down, go deeper. Really go as deep as you can. So for example, you say you're nervous for, I don't know, for a wedding. You're nervous because your wedding is here, you have so much to do, and you're completely a mess. And you're like, okay, so this makes me nervous. Okay, what is it that makes me nervous here? What is it really? So you go a bit deeper and you're like, actually, what really, really, really makes me nervous is those people who are there or not there. For example, maybe in my case, you know, if I ever get married, I already know that my mom will not be there. So that would definitely bring something up in me. And that would make me nervous, you know, knowing that there's not that support I would like to have from the mother's side, for example. That would make me nervous. And understanding, okay, what is standing behind that? Usually it's just a fear. It's a fear that comes up. And what is that fear all about? Then start to acknowledge it, start to understand, okay, if I feel that, I can as well just acknowledge and see it because it's already there. So there is no point in denying, okay? It's being open to feel, being open and ready to feel, do the work. It's hard. You're gonna cry, you're gonna feel or be sad, you're gonna be angry, frustrated, like all those kind of low emotions we try to not feel because they're supposed to be bad, which is not the case, okay? Like feeling anger, feeling frustration, that is not a so-called bad emotion. It is just an emotion. It's not bad or good. It's about, I can go through it. I don't need to experience this the rest of my life. I just need to go through it, okay? So really feel it, feel that. If you have done that, you're gonna feel it in your body. You're gonna feel that your body is releasing it. You can even add some kind of meditation. I love, for example, grounding meditation. That works really, really well for me. Because when you think about it, you have stored this in your body, right? You have stored this in your heart. Now, it's not in your brain, right? Because rationally, you already know, hey, this is past. I don't care anymore. Goodbye, okay? For example, you had a crazy breakup and it was super painful. Well, yeah, your mind knows, hey, this is over. Like, let's move on. Problem, your heart isn't that fast maybe, or needs more time, needs to be seen, needs to be heard, needs to be healed, needs to feel and to heal, or needs to feel to heal, okay? You cannot let the mind say, hey, this is over now, goodbye. Because those feelings are experienced in your body and you need to include your body with it. So this also comes along that you need patience. I know this is the crazy word. I think I've mentioned it so many times that, you know, it's like mentioning it all the time, again and again and again. And it's so crucial because giving yourself space, giving yourself this understanding, hey, if this takes a week, if this takes a day, if this takes longer than a week, longer than a month, then so what? I'm just gonna do every single day one single step. Why? Because I'm treating myself the way I always wanted to be treated, okay? Which is the highest of the highest of the highest of the highest you can get, right? Which is the initial love we want to feel, right? Which comes from here. So when you can give that to yourself, imagine how proud it makes you to step into this, okay? Step into this. Now I understand myself. And because I understand myself, I can feel myself. And because I feel myself, I can feel my intuition. Because I can feel my intuition, I feel more confident. You know, and it goes on and on and on. So doing the work is crucial to feel happy, to feel good, to feel balanced. Now, I know how lonely this can feel, because there might be times where no one is understanding why you cannot move on faster, why you are still stuck. For example, I got to know many times, like, why can't you just get over this? Get over it. You know, it's 10 years ago. Get over it. It's like, I can't, because I need to learn first how to understand my feelings. So, it's not about them. They can say whatever they want. It's about you. You're an adult now. Now you haven't learned that. You need to learn it because you want to feel better. There are so many people who don't do this work because they feel that they're adults now and they just need to get rid of everything they learned or everything they ever suppressed. The problem is, with every relationship, with every work, with every single thing, those kind of feelings that we suppressed come up again and again and again and again. That's why you can see people always in the same kind of relationships, always in the same kind of workplaces they don't even like. Well, because it's a learning, okay? You learn until you know, I don't think I want to do this anymore. I think I want to do something else. I think I want to grow. And growth within, what this channel is for, starts when you look within. Growth doesn't start outside, okay? You can have all the material. You can have it all. But truth is, here, it's not gonna come. You're gonna work for it, or at least I had to work for it. And if you feel the same kind of way, then you gotta work for it too. And it's a daily practice. It needs patience. It needs your discipline, I would almost say. See, people are like, how can you do all those videos? How can you manage to do all of this? And I'm just like, because I know how it feels and I want to help you. I want to help you grow out of that painful thing that you don't need to experience anymore. There is something else. And you just need to open up the door. But before you open up that door, you need to clear out your clutter. You need to clear out those thoughts, those beliefs, those limitations we have. And understand, okay, how can I move forward? Not backwards, forward. Okay? And learn new. Now, I really hope this has helped you. This has gained you a new understanding, a new idea maybe on how you can work on yourself. And if this is the case, let me know in the comment box right down below. I'm really curious to hear and see you grow, share your story, and until next time, goodbye.